contest boards on the scene!
Before we get started, I'd like to give a big thank you to the kind folks over at 2K for providing me with a review copy to make this review possible. WWE 2K25 is the latest entry into a long line of WWE games, and it is developed by Visual Concepts and published by 2K Games. With the last two entries really shaping a great foundation to build upon for this franchise, Visual Concepts decided to up their game with showcases focusing on the Bloodline and new edition of The Island. However, were the tweaks, fixes, and new elements able to make this a must-play for wrestling fans? Or should it have stayed in the oven a bit longer to finish cooking? Only one way to find out, so let's go! Gameplay. With each year's entry into the series, there is a usual focus point of each title's showcase. Some range from the best WrestleMania moments of all time to playthrough, historic career moments of legends like Rey Mysterio, and even just the legends of this industry in general being the highlight, and here in WWE 2K25, that remains no different. But this time focusing on the history and family of the Bloodline, with a strong focus on members of the Bloodline being the focus, such as The Rock, Roman Reigns, Jimmy, Jay, Solo, Rikishi, Umaga, and more. Fans get to see the rich history of this family and the legacy they have left and are currently leaving in the WWE in general. Minus us trying to forget because, much like Rikishi did it for The Rock, I did it for the chickie. Right from the get-go, you can see Visual Concepts aim to set another standard as this year's showcase immediately immerses you in WrestleMania's chaotic last moments that saw Cody Rhodes take on Roman Reigns with the interference from the likes of Solo, John Cena, The Rock, and even the dead man himself, The Undertaker. And instead of just watching the action unfold, you must recreate these iconic moments by giving attitude adjustments to Roman Reigns as John Cena and then doing the same to Solo, but this time putting him through the announcer's table. I'm sorry, bro. I love you, Solo! But what really set the tone for me was the use of camera work this go around. Not only do you get the same cinematic pan shots that you are used to, but you also get introduced to a first-person point of view from the wrestlers' perspectives themselves, further engaging you more than ever before, which carries over as well to normal matches with different camera perspectives that range from static camera, TV angles, and a brand new third-person free control camera that lets you see all the entrances from a 360-degree perspective, which is freaking awesome. Thankfully, no Kevin Dunn experience, so we got lucky. Otherwise, you get something like this.
World Champion, CM Punk!
I can't imagine the amount of pressure he's feeling carrying around two champions.
In addition to the Bloodline being the focus of Showcase, they're also in the headline feature of the brand new mode called The Island, which is 2K's new open world-like feature for the WWE games, much like you've seen in 2K's NBA games called The City. Here in The Island, it attempts to immerse you in a decently sized virtual world similar to, again, The City, or if we're really reaching, something akin to Street Fighter 6 type of hub. To get you caught up to speed, you're guided to glory by none other than the wise man himself, Paul Heyman, and the tribal chief Roman Reigns, where you must begin your rookie career as a brand new superstar, aiming for that good old WWE contract. All I'm saying though, my contract better include wrestler-themed ice cream bars, or just like Christian said, I'm gonna sue the WWE. I'm sure Pepsi Man agrees with me on that, right, Punk?
You bald fraud!
Wow, okay then, Mr. Grouch. Never mind then. I'm not even bald! Here further into the island, you can come across an environment that offers you various challenges to complete to keep you engaged, live events, unlockable content that relates to specific storylines. On paper, it seems like it would be a hit, and it might be on release, but early access for people like myself, it feels sparsely populated and just makes me think of Call of Duty 4 with the moniker, 50,000 people used to live here. now it's a ghost town. While it may be true in early access, I definitely think that with its full worldwide launch, it will open up way more and be far more enjoyable than it is right now. Since right now, there's not really a lot to discover and do besides exploring by yourself and obtaining currency for cosmetic upgrades. But when more people are involved and more matches can be played, I feel like things will be a lot different. But for now, it's okay, I guess? But what really holds the game together, in my humble opinion, are the gameplay adjustments, animations, camera functions, and the fluidity of chain wrestling that has never felt better. Heck, special guest refereeing is back now as well, which further gives me reasons to relive my glory days of WWF SmackDown on the original PlayStation, and just be a total jerk to screw over wrestlers worse than the Montreal Screwjob. I screwed over Cody Rhodes? No, Cody screwed Cody. 'Cause wrestling has more than one royal asshole. Adrenaline in my soul, being an ass to Cody Rhodes. Do it all to make you go to sleep. Crowd is here, about to blow. They yelled at me, oh Cody, no. I kinda like the worst asshole. Whoa! The gameplay in WWE 2K25 is further enhanced with slicker looking and refined graphics and animations that this time manages to show wrestlers bruising, sweat, accurate blood both on their bodies, and soaking the actual ring mats, as well as leaving them bloodstained throughout your matches, which keeps things immersive when taking part in a heavy-hitting hardcore, much like No Holds Barred, Cages matches, and Hell in a Cell. As stated before, one of my favorite additions to the mix is chain wrestling, which involves a joystick-based minigame, which initiates choices that allows you to counter with back-and-forth punches by aligning your bar with the correct time punches, or getting into an extreme grappling contest with some technical wrestling as you and your opponent attempt to out-wrestle and reverse each other, which feels amazing, because it gave me flashbacks to the good old days of watching wrestlers like Dean Malenko, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, William Regal, and the many more work their craft and tell a story through grappling. Which, of course, I got into my own grappling match too versus the Yeet Destroyer himself, Gunther, as I took him on as the best in the world, CM Punk. Back and forth we went, reversing, trading blows, and trying to get the upper hand, and the entire time I was just thinking, man, these animations are smooth as butter and everything just perfectly clicks. Heck, you can even have intergender matches this time, which for some reason Rhea Ripley wanted to come for my World Heavyweight title. Leave me alone, Rhea! I dealt enough with the getting interrupted by Judgment Day meme. I don't need to hear, "This is my brutality!" 500 more times too. On topic again, wrestling has never felt better control and visual-wise, and they seem to find the perfect balance to what worked last year with this year, and it came out to near perfection, letting us live out our ringside chaos as much as we want, both in the ring and backstage, especially with over 300 superstars to play as, the biggest roster ever, which gives fans of nearly every era of WWE their fan favorite to play as. Finally, coming to MyRise mode, which changes it up this year with the intergender wrestling that merges male and female superstar storylines into one singular narrative, where you can meet the likes of Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Bayley, and more as you try to push yourself to the top of the rankings to become the next great WWE superstar, starting with NXT. This mode offers you a fun, personality-driven storyline with choices you make determining whether someone becomes an ally or your next big rival. Only downside, the voice acting for some of these characters are really, really awful. It makes Resident Evil's "Don't open that door" dialogue seem Oscar-worthy.
And everyone else, when you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Yeet!
But while that is really bad, it's still not as bad as the NBA 2K's voice acting from a few years back. Yikes!
That a young buck like you could actually do the right thing and avoid getting his sorry butt kicked out the game.
He told me to chill.
Sounds like a wise fella to win in this league. You need all hands on deck. Good call.
Overall, at At the end of the day, WWE 2K25 once again raises the bar for wrestling simulators. While it's not perfect with the semi-barren land of the island, special guest referee mode only allowed to be turned off during Hell in a Cell matches, some bad voice acting during MyRise mode, and glitches here and there during matches. Even so, with reimagined third-person camera that has an over-the-shoulder perspective, Bloodline Rules matches that deliver chaotic mayhem, showcase mode narrated by Paul Heyman and Roman that go through family history and classic matches, My Universe mode that lets you play weekly television and PLEs as your favorite superstar, My GM that adds online multiplayer for 4 people, My Faction mode that brings back Persona cards, fluid controls, and elements that keep you in the action alongside amazing chain wrestling. All of this makes WWE 2K25 a leap forward and a step up even from last year's entry. If you're a WWE fan, then I suggest not skipping this year's entry as it might just be the best one yet. So with all that having been said, my verdict is clear. K-Machick says buy now.
Look at Randy Orton slithering.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
In case you've been living under a rock, WWE is on fire right now.